Like me and you drink alone, then you know that some of the best food around can be found at your local pub.
Yes, and I can't think of a better way to complement your alcohol problem than a nice big plate of fish and chips.
And if you don't want to spend your hard-earned cash in a pub, you can easily recreate this classic English entree at home for pennies on the dollar.
So this is Penniless Gourmet, and tonight we're going to be making gourmet fish and chips, straight from Piccadilly Circus. And for that we're going to need fish.
We're also going to need our chips, which is just plain old French fried potatoes.
We're going to need tartar sauce.
Oh, don't forget about the beer. We definitely need some beer, so we're going to finish this meal off with a very nice porter. Up next on Penniless Gourmet.
Let's do this, dude.
Let's do it.
Alright, you gonna leave me hanging?
Sorry.
Jackass.
Okay, so now we're ready to work on our potatoes. It's important to pick the right kind of potato. This is a red potato. This doesn't have enough starch. You need something a little better. These are Yukon Golds. Once again, these aren't going to work. So, you've got to opt for something a little heartier.
So this is the University Fish Market. This is where we're going to be picking out our main course.
That's right, we're going to need a nice white flaky fish like halibut.
Or cod. And since this is Penniless Gourmet, we're going to go with cod because it's usually $2 to $3 cheaper a pound.
$2 to $3. That's precious beer money. Alright, so I have here two different kinds of porter. Now, porter is a great traditional beer to have alongside with your fish and chips because it's dark, it's rich, and it's delicious. This is a local one. This is called Lazy Boy Brewing. It's from a guy that lives here in Lake City. This is more of a mainstream one that you can find anywhere, so either one of these will work for you.
Alright, so we're back and we're going to start cooking. Chuck over there is in charge of chips. And I'm going to be doing the fish over here. So why don't you guys come over here and I'll show you what we got going. So right now we have our cod, which is what we ended up going with because frankly halibut is too expensive and this is Penniless Gourmet. We have our cod cut up in 3 to 4 inch pieces. And we're going to batter these bad boys and fry them up. For the batter, what we're going to do is we're going to need 1.5 cups of flour. And this is 2 cups, so I'm just going to throw most of it in. And then a can or 12-ounce bottle of beer. Now this here is a lager because it's a type of beer. So what we're doing here, just going to mix this up. Going to throw a little bit of salt. A little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. And this here is paprika. I love the stuff. And we're just going to throw a little bit. Shabam. Look at that nice little thing of paprika. Alright, so now we got the batter going. I'm going to just set this over here. We're going to start the dredge. What a dredge is we cover the fish in something before we cover it in a batter. And we do that because if we don't, the batter's just going to slip right off. So this is going to get the batter to stay attached to the fish and give it that nice crispy texture that we're looking for, which is so classic of London fish and chips. So for our dredge, we're going to use our remaining 1/2 cup of flour. We're going to throw some more pepper and a little bit more salt. Don't mind that, it's not important. A little bit of salt. Mix that bad boy together. Club dredge. Alright, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to pat dry the fish because if you don't, it gets kind of gross. So we're going to pat this bad boy down. We rinsed this, of course. You always want to rinse your fish before you cook it up. Alright. We're going to dredge it, cover it nicely. Nicely in the dredge, you see that nice powder. And now, this is the fun part. Dip this bad boy in. Just look at that. It looks so good. So, now that we've battered it, we're going to throw it back in the dredge and give it a nice, crispy exterior. And this is double stuff. Double battered fish and chips. Doesn't that look good? You're going to want to have some in your neighborhood.
Alright guys, so what I did with our chips here is I cut them into little strips, French fry style. I've also soaked them into a bowl of water. That's going to help take the starch out. That's key for good frying. Let's get these to a colander so they can dry off. So there's an old saying that oil and water don't mix. This is definitely true for French fries, so you need to get these as dry as possible. Let's go ahead and give it a good pat. Try and draw out as much moisture as possible. And there you go. Oh, I missed a spot. So I was thinking about deep frying some of these fries on the oven, but that kind of scares me. You know, you don't want a bunch of popping oil. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make a nice oven fry. All you need is a little bit of peanut oil, dry potato sticks, and a metal bowl to put them in. So let's get these in here. A little oil. Right, so I'm just tossing these oil right now. Put a little salt on here. Okay. Now we're ready to put them on our foil-lined baking sheet here. Preheat the oven to about 400, 450. You want to get this nice and crisp. And we're ready to go. Alright, so you need some tartar sauce for fish and chips, of course. I'm going to add a few tablespoons of relish to my bowl of diced onion and celery. That gives it a nice little crunch texture to it. Also, I'm going to put in some good old-fashioned mayo. You can use any brand that you like. It doesn't matter if it's light, regular mayo, as long as it's in there. You want about a half a cup total to 3/4 cup total. Also, I'm going to put in some paprika. That gives it a little bit of a smoky flavor. Ground black pepper also. And Dijon mustard on top. So I'm just going to make sure I get it mixed, evenly coat all the ingredients. And some lemon zest goes a long way, as well as the juice from a lemon. Alright guys, so we're almost finished with our tartar sauce here. Now, the secret to a good tartar sauce is some dill. Now you just want to put a couple good shakes in here, maybe about a 1/4 teaspoon or so. That's all you need. It goes a long way. But I'll tell you what, it's perfect every time.
Alright, so now we got our fish batter. We're going to start frying it up. So, grab a piece of fish, do one last dunk in the batter. Roll around the sides a little bit, let that excess batter drip off. Just look at that. Now we're going to throw it in our pan. Just hear that good sizzle. That's how you know you're doing good fish and chips. Alright, throw a few more in there. Get them all nice and wet. And bada bing.
Alright gang, so we're ready to check out our fries here. They've been in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. Pull these out, look at that. Doesn't that look good?
Alright, so now we're done. We got our fish and chips, our chip and chips, and homemade tartar sauce. What do you think, Chuck?
I think it looks good enough to eat. I want some of this right here.
See you guys next time on Penniless Gourmet. This shit is delicious.
It's very good.
Yeah. I haven't eaten in days.